We also have mutual assistance, so it's not just JCP&L or First Energy. We have contracts with others to help each other out, and we will move crews, across states to do that. And we will actually have them put up in hotels and have them, there'll be tents that are set up for them as well. And during that, there's a lot of communications that are going on with the mobile computers and the smartphones. You see a picture right there. That's actually what's happening with them constantly communicating from the scenes. And it's labor intensive, so you'll see a number of crews. It's not just one. You'll have a troubleman, you'll have a hazard crew, you'll have someone who needs to de-energize a line. So there's specialties. So you'll also often see a number of crews. And we did receive a claim for our safety practices. We use best practices and we're proud of that. So for the last 10 years, we've been recognized by the Edison Electric Institute. And again, safety is our #1 priority, and a lot of preparation goes into that to make sure that we are always safe and that no one's life is in jeopardy. And we have a lot of tools that I want to tell you about. So one of the things, if you go to our website, we have a 24/7 power center, and you can also look on the My Town page, and you'll be able to see a number of things. There's some information that is particular to Morris Township, and it's the outages, the outage information. You can actually zoom in on the map and see where the outages are. The estimated time of restoration is provided, and a lot of people like the text messaging that you can use as well. So if you went to the My Towns page, for instance, you would see the number of customers, you would have outage information. You see that you have 4,038 poles and 107 miles of distribution lines. So that's a lot of equipment that is vulnerable to high winds, rain, and trees. And again, a number of ways to communicate. We do have social media presence. Twitter and Facebook provides updates, and our customer contact center. And I have some more information about that. Here are the important phone numbers I wanted to share. If you have an outage, you want to call 188-LIGHTS, with 2 S's. You can report it online at our website. And if you have other service issues, if there are other issues other than an outage, that is the main number that you would call. And there's also a feature if you have hearing or speech impairments, and a survey at the end so you can tell us what we can do better. And that's it. So I just wanted to share that with all of you.
If you go, before you close that up, can you go back to that slide before? So that number at the top, that 888 number, it's
Yes.
something that I keep in my cell phone, because when the power goes out, often your phone goes out and you need to have that number in your phone already. So if you don't already have JCP&L in your phone, I suggest you, as we talk, type down that phone number into your phone so that you have it, because as Ms. Bianchi just stated, everybody needs to call on their outage. It's the way that the power company determines where the greatest number of people are at. That's one of their big determinants. And you can't rely on your neighbors to do it, because if only one person on your street does it and the whole street's out, they might go to another street first because they think it's only one person. So everybody needs to call that number when the power goes out.
I'd also recommend the text messages. It's really easy to use too, the text alerts. And it gets right back to you, and it'll tell you when the estimated time for the repair to be made. So it's really nice.
Yes.
His ETR is on multiple.
So again, I just wanted to say that during outages or when there's other issues, I'm in communication with the mayor and with your administrator, who are very responsive, very concerned about the residents' needs. And if there are problems that are brought to the mayor, he brings them to me and we address them. We get to the bottom of what's going on. So thank you for letting me come tonight. My cards are all here if you would like to.
Good. I'd like to just see if anybody has any questions here before you go.
Okay.
I do have a couple of questions. Could you talk a little more about the vegetation management plan as it applies to our town in particular?
Yes, so what happens is when we are going to do vegetative management, we provide notice. We do a 60-day notice and then a 2-week notice, and we provide that to the mayor and the administrator. And and if it's private property, we are notifying the customer. We do not remove trees without permission. We work with the customer to determine whether they want to keep the wood, and that's basically how it works. But the idea again is because we're trying to improve reliability, so we only work within the right of way where they're overhanging our lines.
And how far back do you cut the branches?
So generally, it's like a 15-foot radius. But again, if it's with the IIP program, the expanded vegetative management, if it's a little bit farther outside of that right of way, but it's threatening our lines, they're hanging over our lines, we work again with, to remove those. So that's what we're trying to, the BPU has determined that is like the best type of reliability improvements that we can do because they do threaten the wires and cause a lot of outages.
Right. I got very interested in electrical outages following Sandy. And I know from comparing the way things were then to now that there have been a lot of improvements, especially on communication. I think that was one of the biggest challenges during Sandy.
I'm happy to hear that. I found the same.
I have a follow-up question to that. So during your presentation, you stated that you work with the homeowners and that you ask permission. So do you always ask permission? Sometimes what are the conditions where you go ahead and do it, and what are the conditions where you work with the homeowner and ask for permission?
So generally, we have the right of way, but we respect the homeowners. So we know if we're doing tree trimming, we do our tree trimming, but we always work with we notify you of any work that we're doing. But with regard to tree removal, we don't want to do that unless we think it's necessary and we get the permission of the homeowners. So the contractors will knock on the doors of the homeowners and get their written permission, determine what they want to do with the wood, if they want to keep it for firewood, and then we work from there. And I've worked with your administrator closely as well. If something's not left neatly, if the contractor, if a homeowner feels it wasn't properly disposed of, we'll go back and I'll get in touch with the forester. So we have like a constant communication going if there's an issue.
So are you saying if the tree is in the right of way, you ask permission or you don't, or you?
With this
use your own
IIP work, we always just provide notification, but we can do the tree trimming without permission. We have the right to do it if we feel it's jeopardizing our equipment in our right of way. But from my experience, which is